Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Gaming Quitte, the most delicious Quitte of them all, and today we're taking a look at the last Gala Dragalia banner in 2021. This banner features 2 dragons and 2 new units. While Gala Beast Ciella is limited to galas, the New Year's units Shingen, Yukimura and Fudo Myo-o are only available for a limited time on this banner and the next one. They will be not on raid up on the next prize showcase though. Also, before we begin, tell me in the comments below what you think about the new units and who you will summon for. Now let's start with the dragons. Gala Beast Ciella is a water dragon, as it was to be expected. She also seems like her art should put the age rating of the game on a higher level. They even censored her art on Twitter and in the preview video. Anyway, her skill Frozen Anguish deals 1 hit of 2400% damage and inflicts frostbite. Pretty basic when compared to Volk. Ciella gives water units a strength increase of 100%, which is really good just in general, but 4 strike based units will live with this. Regardless of the unit's element, Ciella has a Dragon Strike that does currently unknown damage to enemies and summons a Crystal Arrow. You know these arrows from her fight. She can have up to 2 of these arrows on the field, but they will disappear after some time. When you use Ciella's standard attack, according to the text, they will bounce off of these arrows. And if you use the dragon skill and hit one of the arrows, it will deal damage to the enemies and disappear. Her second ability increases damage to frostbitten enemies by 15%. This is not everything though. Remember our hate of the vulnerability debuff in the Ciella fight? Well, the turns have tabled and we can now use it ourselves. Standard attacks will apply vulnerability when the combo count is 15 or higher if you're using Ciella. This debuff can stack up to 10 times, and each stack reduces defense by 1% and frostbite resistance by 2% for the remainder of the quest, unless the enemy removes it. There is a downside to everything though. The user's defense will get reduced by 20%, and the window for combos gets smaller by 1 second. Keeping up a combo will be more difficult with Gala Beast Ciella equipped. While at first glance Ciella doesn't seem as insane as Volk, but her debuffs together with the increased damage on frostbitten enemies just make her an insanely strong dragon. Surely there is the small downside of a reduced defense for the player, but just don't get hit or have a Gala Alisan on the team that basically negates the downsides. Depending on how the arrows and the Dragon Strike damage will turn out, she probably will be able to deal some hard damage in dragon form. Though the more important thing would be to inflict the debuff with these standard attacks. She's definitely one of the best dragons in the water element, but I feel like she could be the worst and we would all still summon simply because she's gorgeous. Speaking of gorgeous, Fudo Myo-o is a wind dragon from the Tiger clan, which makes me go RAR XD. Her dragon skill, Kurigura Gust, deals 6 hits of 470% damage, which in total is 2502% damage. It inflicts Stormlash and grants the mantra of compassion effect. We will talk about that in a second. Her first ability increases strength by 70%. Her second ability explains the mantra of compassion effect. When the quest starts, the user will get granted the mantra, which nullifies damage up to 100% of the user's max HP twice. This does not stack. When the stacks are gone, you get the mantra of wrath effect, which increases attack rate by 10% and increases damage against water enemies by 30%. The mantra of wrath effect will also fill the dragon gauge by 50%. The dragon gauge fill effect does not activate again for 180 seconds. A dragon in the wind element always has to measure up to mid-zero and Gala Beast Volk, but I feel like Fudo Myo-o doesn't even want to be in the same category as them. She seems to be a really good dragon to put on your AI units, because they can use the mantra effect just as well as when you navigate them, and you can get a pretty fast 50% of your dragon gauge when the AI uses up the mantra effect. I think this is actually kinda crazy good, because this way you can shift into Volk or mid-zero faster and just burn down the enemy's health bar quicker. I really hope I can pick her up because she might be really good for auto comms and AI backlines. But even if she's on your control unit, get hit twice and you basically have the aura of Reborn Zephyr plus additional effects. She's good. If you enjoyed this video and you aren't subscribed to the channel, here's your reminder to consider clicking on that red button. Thanks. Okay, so I avoided it for as long as possible, but now I have to talk about the new Yu-Gi-Oh card, Shingen. He is a wind axe and his text length is, well, let's go. His first skill, Furring Kazan, can get stronger the more you tap the screen while preparing the skill, kinda like Kimono Luka or Thor. When you use the skill, you can tap the screen for up to 3 additional attacks, depending on how many stacks of Veteran's Medal Shingen has. We will talk about that soon. It inflicts Stormlash to the enemies and applies a burst gambit called Tiger's Burst. Apparently, when Tiger's Burst is activated, it will restore HP with the potency of 140 to the entire team. Burst Gambit is a new type of debuff on the enemy. According to the in-game help section, it's a unique debuff with a counter that is reduced by 1 for every affliction or debuff applied to the affected target. Once it reaches 0, the associated effect will activate. In the case of Tiger's Burst, you need to apply 30 debuffs or afflictions to activate the effect. There can also only be one Burst Gambit active at the time. If you would apply another Burst Gambit while one is active, the current one's counter will just be reduced by 1. Also, if a unit has reduced the counter, they cannot do so again with the same skill or debuff for a set amount of time. It doesn't specify what this time period is though. There's other stuff on the Gambit in the help section too, but I would recommend just taking a look at it in-game or pausing the video to read what's on the screen right now. Let's continue with Shingen's first skill. When you deal 3 additional attacks by tapping the screen, all stacks of Veteran's Metal will be consumed and Shingen gets the Battle Fervor effect. This is talked about in his abilities, so we will save that for later. Battle Fervor lasts 30 seconds and I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing this. While charging this skill, Shingen has a knockback immunity. So when using the skill with just one hit, it deals 1600% damage. Every additional hit deals 800% damage and does different things. The first additional attack reduces strength of the enemy by 10%, the second inflicts Scourge Rend, sure why not, the third one seems to heal with a potency of 35. When Shingen has the Battle Fervor effect active, he can use the 3 additional hits without having to consume Veteran's Metal, but it will also not reapply Battle Fervor. Also the skill can be shared, and I would guess it might actually use the version with all 4 hits, because it's a pretty expensive skill to be shared, but that's just my guess for now. Shingen's second skill, Fearless Tiger, grants him a defense amp with a max team amp level of 3 and it grants him a Veteran's Metal effect. If used during Battle Fervor, it also increases the HP by 10% and reduces damage take by 70% for 3 seconds. Shingen has the Standard Axe ability which increases defense by 15%. His Chain ability gives a 100% Bog Rest when the team has a team defense amp. His first ability, Tiger's Tenacity, grants 2 stacks of Veteran's Metal when Shingen takes damage. It can stack up to 3 times and once activated, this effect won't be available again for 20 seconds. Shingen gets a unique Force Strike which reduces damage taking while charging said Force Strike. You cannot reduce the damage from all attacks by this though. You are immune to knockback while charging the Force Strike and during its execution. If you got hit while charging the Force Strike, that damage will be reduced and you'll be granted 3 stacks of Veteran's Metal. In addition to all of this, during Battle Fervor, the 3rd and 5th attack in Shingen's standard attack combo will create small cyclones that follow the enemy. It's kinda like with Lin Yu's Spiraled Force Strike. Shingen is a freeze resistant unit and his third ability increases damage dealt by his attacks by 50% and gives him a strength buff of 20% while he has the Battle Fervor effect. Man, what a unit. He seems to be a heavy hitter that can also do a lot of things. While he is a defense unit, I guess he could really be good on the backline and auto too, depending on how the AI plays him. Since Veteran's Metal doesn't seem to be consumed when dealing 1 or 2 additional attacks, he can probably just go wild on AI, especially if you slap Fudo Myo-o on him, because she can negate damage while supporting your active unit and increasing Shingen's strength with the Mantra of Wrath effect. Depending on how his shared skill plays out when, well, shared, it might become an extremely good shared skill, even if the cost of it is pretty high. Since he is limited, you might want to try picking him up on this Gala. It will be a little while until he comes back. And now let's talk about the reason why I hope that I will get lucky on my free summons. And yes, there are free summons, wait them out before you spend your resources. Yukimura. She can go full Super Saiyan and it's amazing. Let's take a look at her first skill, Monkey Overdrive. It has a skill shift mechanic. The first phase deals 1 hit of 1348% damage, the second phase deals 1 hit of 1722% damage, and the third phase deals 2 hits of 987% damage each, meaning it deals 1974% damage. The area of effect grows with each phase, and the third phase also unleashes Yukimura's fighting spirit for the rest of the quest. If this skill is used during the activated fighting spirit, it will turn into Monkey Tiger Wrath. This attack deals 4 hits of 375% base damage, a total of 1500%. You can tap the screen during the attack to power up the last additional hit up to a potential 584% damage. This means it can deal 2084% damage if powered up. Jesus, that's a lot of numbers. The skill fills 15% of Monkey Tiger Chaos, which is the second skill during Fighting Spirit. It also applies a burst gambit called Monkey's Burst on the enemy with a counter of 15. Once it activates, it deals a whopping 4300% damage to the afflicted enemy. Yukimura's second skill, Monkey Cross Dive, deals 2 hits of 684% damage, which means it deals 1368% damage. It also fills the skill gauge of Monkey Overdrive by 15%. If used during Fighting Spirit, the skill will be called Monkey Tiger Chaos and deals 21 hits of 101% damage each and additional 2 hits of 747% each, if you tap the screen often enough when the attack powers up its last hit. This means it has the potential to reach 3996% damage. It also inflicts Stormlash on the normal attacks, while also inflicting Scorch Rend on the final hit. This skill can be shared and might be extremely good if it actually uses the 3996% damage mod, while also inflicting both affliction. Yukimura's core ability increases HP by 15% and the chain core ability increases combo time by 2.5 seconds. Her first ability explains what happens when Fighting Spirit is unleashed, aside from the fact that her hair grows out and turns yellow, just like a Super Saiyan. Yukimura's strength increases by 10%, her attack skill damage is increased by 40%, she is immune to knockback and her auto attacks change. She also gets a unique dodge that can deal damage. While tapping the screen during the dodge, you can cancel it and perform a unique dash attack. If this dash attack or a force strike is followed by a standard attack, you will start the combo with the second attack of the combo chain. Yukimura is a paralysis resistant unit and she gets an additional 20% strength buff when the combo count is 15 or higher. So I need Yukimura. She seems to be an extremely strong unit once she is in Super Saiyan mode, and the 3996% damage mod in addition to the 40% skill damage increase, she could be a nuke. It's not specified how long Fighting Spirit lasts, but I would actually just say once it's activated, it will stay activated. This means once the Fighting Spirit is activated, Yukimura becomes extremely strong and I can't wait to see her blast enemies away. It's kinda like the Sigils from the Apostles. The fact that she also just casually refills her skill gauges so that she can blast the enemy with a big hit again even faster is insane. Since she can't be interrupted thanks to knockback immunity, it shouldn't be a problem to get the big hits out even if charging up the final hit takes some time. Also, her shared skill most definitely uses the improved version, which means you can gain access to Scorch Rend and Shadow Blight on a single skill. This might have some big value. I shudder when I think about how strong she might be with a Gala Behemoth on her or an Arsene. The only problem I see in her kit is the missing Dispel, but thanks to shared skills this isn't really that much of a problem nowadays. Anyway, that's it for this super long video. I'm sorry it got so long. I tried to keep it short, but it's just not possible with these units. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like and join our Discord, the link's in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye!